Some of the things I want to talk about at the Seacoast Family Food Pantry is really what is our need and how is the community helping us. It's easy for everyone in the community to think about us during the holidays. We get a lot of support, not only financially but also with in-kind donations. But in reality, that need in the community exists throughout the year. So it's really important that, as people are thinking about how they can help or different areas that they might be able to provide assistance, whether it's volunteering or creating your own food drives or helping support the area with different levels of, involvement, there's always things that you can help out with. It's not just, in November and in December when people are trying to put those important meals on the table. It's throughout the year. And in reality, it almost seems to pick up more so in the summer months because, the children are out of school. Many of those children are receiving 2 meals during the day in school. So those working moms or maybe the working poor that truly are going to now have a lot more meals to put on the table throughout the day or throughout the week, they're going to struggle that much more. So thinking about the pantry and remembering to support us throughout the year is going to be really integral in our success in the community. So another thing that I think people, when you think about the pantry and what our demographic is, or what area of our community really is in need or support from the pantry, it isn't, I think, who people automatically think of. We have had a huge increase in our elderly population. We've had a big increase in our families. Lots of children are now coming to the pantry, as a result of their parents, struggling to have 1 or 2 or 3 maybe part-time jobs and needing to make choices about how they're going to pay their bills. Sometimes food doesn't fall high on that list, so we're here to really help those families and make sure they're still putting the meals on the table that are important. So really we're seeing a lot of different changes in our demographic. We're seeing new people every single day and new families. So it's important to remember, when you're thinking about different areas you can help or where you might want to provide your extra disposable money, the pantry is always going to be a great place because it's all about putting food on the tables for the people that need it. Something that's been interesting for me, I grew up in Portsmouth, so I've been part of this community right out of the gate. And there's lots of different things you think about when you think about Portsmouth. We've got a great culture. We have a great downtown area. We have a lot of restaurants. We have a lot of services for, all of the different people that live in this city. But at the same time, we also have a lot of people that need our help. And I think those people maybe sometimes are invisible in this community because unfortunately, you're not going to see them at all those restaurants in downtown Portsmouth because they don't have the choice or the luxury to go to those restaurants because they, unfortunately struggle in different areas of their life and they may not be able to be part of the community of Portsmouth. But they're still here and we still need to make sure we're helping them. And I think the food pantry does a lot of things to help those people, feel like they're part of this community and want to be part of this community because there's also a lot of great services here outside of really just the pantry. We do fuel assistance, not our services, but this city in all has a lot of wealthy services to help sure that people really do have a nice lifestyle that they're living when they're part of this area. So the food pantry, we have a pretty large catchment area, so we're really spanning the greater Seacoast area. It ranges from Kittery all the way down to Seabrook. The demographic is very spread out across all of those communities. But one thing that's always been good is that the pantry's been able to help. And as we've seen maybe an increase in a certain geography, we've added that into our area to make sure that as a service agency, we can provide as much service and be as expansive as possible. So, that's something to think about. A lot of the people in this room or a lot of the people that we talk to on a regular basis, they are from Portsmouth or the greater Portsmouth area. But the pantry's here to really help the Seacoast in general and really help address the need. And really, what can we do to reduce the gap? Because it's easy to identify, you say there's a need, there's a hunger, but what is that gap? You have lots of programming, you have lots of food assistance, but how do you reduce the gap? How do you identify, truly, what do you have for programming? What do you have for food volume? What is the need in the community? And then what types of things can we do together as a community, whether it's through the support of individuals, it's through the support of corporations, but what can we do to really reduce that gap? Because at the end of the day, we want to eliminate food insecurity. We don't want that to be a challenge for anyone. We don't want anyone to have to make the choice, at the end of the day, are they going to be able to put a meal on the table for their family? That's just an innate need, and you don't want to ever have to make the choice on food. It should be there, it should be available. You want to make sure you're putting healthy choices in front of your family. You want to give them as much as possible. So you know, when you're going through your list of things that you want to accomplish the week or the month with a, you know, disposable income that you might have left over, we hope that one day food is never going to be in that list. Like, we want to make sure that everyone has what they need, and ultimately that we are going to be able to eliminate the insecurity for food in this community.